So with me is Shanna Tellerman, who is the founder of Modsy, which is a design house and involved in online interior design. And I'd like to welcome you and have you just give us a little bit of background, who you are and what you're doing these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to be here. I'm the founder and CEO of Modsy. As you mentioned, we're an online design service. We use visualization technology to help you really see how your home can be redesigned. And it's an entirely virtual service, which obviously is quite relevant in these days. And then we show you all real products so you can actually buy them and make your real space come to life.
Great. And the reason I asked you to join me on one of these sessions was I got an email from you. And what it talked about was how, as a company, you were prepared to go virtual, no issues around it. You're a startup. I work in the world of startups. You do. So it was a natural transition to things you were already comfortable doing, talking online, having video conferences, managing remote, and with a business that's entirely digital, an easy composition. But the catch was you're now there with a husband with his own or spouse with his own business and a child. And now you've got two full-time positions going simultaneously in the same four walls that none of us can escape from. And you kind of poo-pooed me a little bit. No, I don't need, it's not anything special. And that's the very point of this discussion. Some people are using video conferencing for the first time, but they've been long-term parents or long-term business people. And here it is all compressed through no choice of ours. And yet you put a few things into your conversation about why it works and what you've learned to do. And that's really what I want to share. This is the biggest learnings and takeaways for you now running two full-time passions inside these four walls you have.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely been a change of pace for sure. So yeah, my husband works at a startup. I work at a startup. He's the CFO. I'm a CEO, different companies. And yeah, we're stuck in our San Francisco home, which is, as homes in San Francisco are, not very large. And our 2-year-old son, almost 2, is here with us. And so it's been both really rewarding because it's incredibly special time. You don't normally get as a parent to be around your child at such a key developmental stage where we're just seeing like every day and every week how much he's growing. But it's also really tiring because we do have 2 full-time jobs and we're just splitting up the whole day. So I'm taking the morning, my husband takes the daytime hours, I take the evenings, and we just kind of juggle it as best as we can and coordinate key calls along the way.
Great things. Here's a question, because what I find the biggest difference in now is it's not unusual, no matter who you're talking to, and I've interviewed a CEO or a chairman of a very large corporation, and you'll have a cat walk into the background, you'll have a spouse or other person living in that household go through the back screen. That was unheard of a decade ago. And when you look at women in leadership roles, to me, that's always been a case that's had to be dealt with. And as a guy, I had to wear the suit and tie. I might want to wear shorts, and I could do that in an interview like this. But now that's all out the window. And does this give you a greater sense of equalization or opportunity to move forward as everyone has been forced to relax those old standards?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's a comfort level because the way we've always operated and the way in my company I've always operated is that your family is part of your life, right? Like all of our executive team, they all have kids. They all have like various things they're juggling. And even before this whole situation, like we would encourage people to bring their kids into the office to work from home if they needed to, various things in their life, like were part of their work life as well. And so for me, that like seamless integration of home life and work life has always been part of my leadership style. I think as that becomes the norm across the board, that only makes kind of like a woman's leadership style or maybe, a generalized person's leadership style more prevalent.
It's inclusionary. It allows the individual passion for all of the things that are important. To me, it's a breath of fresh air compared to what I grew up through. And to see these kinds of changes. Is there any particular learning experience that you've gone through that stands out that you will take forward when this pre-COVID-19 world, and at some point there will be a post-COVID? What do you carry out into that world afterwards?
Yeah, I think there's personal. I think from a personal standpoint, I actually think that I'm going to keep some of the traditions that we've created between like cooking together and having dinner every night to just the hours that we're working. They're a lot lighter right now, but that means we're actually a lot fresher for work. And having seen that happen has been really valuable. Professionally, I actually have found that we've been really efficient. We've created some new processes that are more efficient than the in-person processes. Some of our planning discussions have actually been more efficient, more asynchronous work. And I found that that's a much better working style. And I think we're going to keep a few of those tools as we go forward as well.
Great. I appreciate your time today. And, the thing I've noticed is now that we're all spending more time in our house, we're starting to look around and looking for those online tools. So I'll share that information afterwards. But thank you so much for joining me today, and continued success.
Thank you.